This book is a summary of the research Mr. Nakamura conducted at JMA together with people from different industries to find a method for transferring skills steadily and efficiently to address the declining birth rate and aging population problem that was brought to the forefront of Japan's 2007 problem. The skills covered were those that have supported Japanese industry and are valuable not only to companies but also to those who acquire them, to whom they will devote their lives. However, these skills require self-help, which accounts for 85% of the time to acquire. Companies must therefore visualize their management and the value of what they learn. By taking practical measures such as making full use of effective coaching, the results were achieved about 5 times faster than before. It is said that countries that cannot manufacture products will eventually decline. In this sense, Japan's population and demographics are extremely worrying. In addition to this, the fact that it is difficult to attract young people to the manufacturing industry, which is tough and requires a lot of effort, is the problem of Japan's declining birth rate and aging population. The world's economic and technological environment has been changing at a rapid pace. In response to this situation, Japan has predicted manufacturing technology, created new products, and then followed suit, manufacturing products that meet the demands of the times. As a result, products have sold well amidst fierce global competition, and the Japanese economy and individual livelihoods have grown. However, with the declining birth rate and aging population, there is an increasing risk that this effective new product development spiral will be disrupted. In Japan, leading industrial companies have had to foresee the risk of a decline in manufacturing technology due to the declining birth rate and aging population, and have had to take measures to address this. For this reason, many companies have created a skills map, as shown in the figure below, and have been taking measures to prevent weaknesses in people and skills when it comes to manufacturing. The items on the vertical axis of this photo are the important skills that the company needs to manage, and the horizontal axis is the person's name. This type of matrix shows the required skill level and the year of retirement, and is a method that visualizes the situation for taking measures and serves as the basis for measures. Once we have created a matrix like the one above, we can move on to the practical aspects of technology transfer. However, when analyzing the themes targeted on the vertical and horizontal axes, we found that each transfer target has its own characteristics. For example, there are targets for measures that involve investing in automation, as well as education centered on creating manuals to reduce the burden of human resource development, and targets for somehow acquiring tacit knowledge skills through self-help efforts. After sorting into these individual transfer target themes, the study group confirmed that by speeding up each measure, we could concretely implement a method that would be more than 5 times faster. The factors that make it possible to transfer skills 5 times faster are largely related to the factors shown in the formula above. At the same time, it is the employees who are responsible for each theme of transfer. The speed at which each person who transfers the skills is able to do so is greatly related to their own self-help efforts, based on the understanding that they understand the great significance and responsibility of the theme as an industrialist, and as a representative, have developed skills that are recognized as their own area of expertise. For this reason, visualization like this is necessary. I would like to ask readers to look at the book for more details on this content. The Technology and Skills Transfer Measures Study Group has organized the structure of learning skills that are considered to be particularly difficult to transfer, such as the metal surface finishing technique known as scraping, or the hand finishing technique known as spatula drawing, which involves finishing a space rocket head by hand from a single metal plate to an accuracy of 1/100th of a millimeter, in the image shown in the figure. The book also includes the experiences of people who have actually acquired these craftsmanship techniques. Earlier, I introduced the image of the efforts of a craftsman to acquire tacit knowledge by comparing it to the growth of a tree, because this is very different from the training methods generally used in schools and training courses to strengthen knowledge and obtain qualifications. Therefore, in the calligraphy, I have illustrated this difference with an illustration like this, showing the process of acquiring advanced skills. For advanced skills, it is extremely effective to have the learner check their current level and comprehension according to their own level of acquisition, while recording what they feel is the key point of the target skill they are trying to master. In essence, the Advanced Skill Acquisition Manual is created by the person learning the traditional skill. This type of measure is famously used by Mr. Shohei Ohtani of MLB. Since we have already achieved results by systematizing the skills as shown in the figure, we have now used this method in the field of traditional skills and have achieved great results. Once the above measures have been taken, it becomes a coaching measure for the person teaching the technique or skill. The important thing about this measure is that the coach and the person learning work together to transfer the target technique or skill. At this time, it is effective to take measures by paying attention to the points shown in this diagram. The following case studies are from companies that participated in the Technology and Skills Transfer Measures Study Group, and they put the contents of this book into practice, adapted to the circumstances of their own workplaces. This was an initiative from Bunka Shutter, a company that makes doors and other products using advanced welding techniques. Here, employees of a large company also learned advanced welding techniques, and a measure was developed to meet customer demands. The key point is that the highly skilled person who teaches explains the tricks of welding. The people who learn the techniques then try out the records, and a method is developed in which each person creates their own optimal manual, resulting in an example of a company that learned advanced techniques in a short period of time while also increasing sales. Yamagata 3M is located in Yamagata Prefecture, famous for cherries. 4 work groups manufacture printing panels used for advertisements, etc., on a 24-hour basis. The problem was that there was a time difference between groups in changing the setup, and this downtime had a large impact on profits. Therefore, all workers were made to open their work to the public, and after recording their work and important know-how, they were compared with each other, standardized into the best method, visualized, and utilized. As a result, a method was established in which each group's work time could be minimized in a short period of time. Coca-Cola East Japan had a big problem with the variation in setup time when changing products on the huge facility that bottles cola. To solve this problem, one person had to read and learn a 36-page manual, and even the slightest mistake would have a big impact on the setup work done by several people. In the past, this problem of learning was addressed in a company-wide meeting, but since there was no progress, the factory executives themselves tried to put into practice what they had learned in the study group, and realized how difficult it was to memorize 36 pages of content and reproduce it through repeated training. Therefore, by using visualization measures and showing the main points of each task, a method was developed that allows the work to be done without memorizing the contents of the manual. As a result, the setup time was significantly reduced. This book also contains other case studies from companies that participated in the Technology and Skill Transfer Measures Study Group, so readers should refer to them. Thank you very much for watching the introduction to this Kindle book. The above explanation is the gist of this picture book. You can also get it at this URL. Amazon Prime members can watch it for free.